Some great content here. Let me do my best to try to summarize some of the things that we talked about, some of the highlights that I heard. When we talked about progress, what resonated with me is cloud is here to stay. I mean, there was a time where people were saying a new buzzword, a new something, but it's not. It is clearly where we're going in the future. It is bringing about fundamental change. We're getting better security. Speed is a big deal. Governance processes are important to make sure that you can do things and there's a lot of centers of excellence popping up around and folks that are building centers of excellence around some of these success stories. Programs, we heard about the overseas polling process in monitoring, which I thought was fascinating in terms of a cloud application. We heard about records management and the fact that there are very large volumes of records need to be managed, and cloud makes the offer. The FCC.gov modernization was a program that sounds exciting to me. Outage reporting at FCC, a lot of cost savings programs that we heard about. And commercial parity, which came up a number of times on the various topics we talked about here, is the government now catching up and having commercial parity with market forces and getting in front of that curve, as opposed to always trying to catch up to that curve. When we talk challenges, we immediately jumped into culture change, which I think everyone appreciates that when you do something different, you can change somebody's job title overnight, but changing their behavior or how they do their job is a whole different set of issues. I know in one time we changed the commo guys became, the telecommunications specialists or something, and because their jobs were changing, but in their mind they were always the commo guys. I mean, it's just the way it works. We talked about on challenges legacy applications. There's a lot of that out there, and you need to hopefully modernize before moving to cloud. The difficulty getting good skill sets and having a bench. You need a bench with skilled people. Win early, win small came across a couple times in our discussions. Let's create an environment where we have continuous process modernization and we have continuous improvement and win one, and it leads to others. We heard about bandwidth being a challenge, that as we move to cloud, we can't lose the latency and speed and things that we need. We heard about re-education of processes being a challenge. People need to be re-educated to do things a little differently. And we heard about the capitalization of the infrastructure as also an issue. The infrastructure needs to keep up with the things that are going on with the application side. Lessons, I heard two things that over and over again. Start small, same thing we heard. I heard about success breeds success. And I heard about communicate. You got to keep those lines of communications out there. For the future, we talked about on-premise programs slowly leaving. We talk about software as a service becoming a model that clearly is picking up. We talked about speed and agility significantly improvement, security significantly improving. We heard about the concept of digital organizations and digital services that we'll see in the future as agencies doing things in a much more digital fashion. We heard about marketplace applications and the fact that we're now have marketplace caught up to the marketplace. Now we need the marketplace applications to also be part of the day-to-day program. And I heard quite a bit about focus on mission. Focus on the mission itself is something that needs to be done.